IVM.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Musafir Stories, India's very own travel podcast, where each week we share the journey of travelers in their own words and relive their experiences with you, our listeners. Hi guys, I'm Faiza with my co-host Saif, and on today's Independence Day special we have a very special guest with us, Sai Kumar, or Oramic Sai as he calls himself. I'm sure a lot of us have come across quotes on the internet like live your dream or follow your passion or how I quit my job and travel the world, but most of us have just sighed and almost helplessly moved on. But Sai is a brave soul who took up this quite seriously. He quit his job and embarked on this epic journey that we are calling the Great Indian Road Trip.
So with that introduction, I'd like to welcome Sai Kumar, the man behind the handlebar. Sai, thank you so much for being a part of the Musafir Stories and welcome to the podcast.
Hi Sai, welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Saif and Faiza.
Hi.
Thanks for having me on the show, and it's really a pleasure to be here.
Oh, the pleasure is all ours. Well, Sai, the introduction that I gave about you is very short and concise. Why don't you go ahead and tell our listeners a little about yourself?
Okay, fine. I'm just the regular guy. I am from Abu Dhabi.
Okay.
And I basically grew up here and later went back to India for high school and finished my bachelor's and master's in Coimbatore.
Okay.
And after that, I had moved to UK for 2 years. I did another master's there and came back to the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
So travel has always been a very interesting thing for me because I like seeing new places. I think everybody does for that part. Right from childhood, if your parents are taking you somewhere out and you're happily jumping, yeah, we're going out. So I've basically, we've done that a lot. Even when we used to come for summer vacations to India, we used to visit all these different places and those were really good times. So I think that's how I got this passion for
travel,
or this rather excitement for travel, enthusiasm, or whatever.
It's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So Sai, I am with you so far, but give me one good reason about this big road trip, the epic Indian road trip. Give me one good reason that you came up with to, say, convince your parents or convince your friends or...
Or convince yourself rather, 77.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. So about Sai's trip, he covered in 77 days, 11,124 kilometers. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so what was the aha moment, Sai? When did you... was it one fine day you woke up or...
How did you get the idea?
To do this, or had this been going on in your mind for a while?
The thing is, I'm basically interested in photography and also my education was also a little bit about media and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I wanted to go out there, take some pictures, make some kind of a portfolio. The initial plan was to make a book. With my photographs, and I still haven't got time to compile all my pictures and write something about it. But I have plans to do that in the future.
Yeah, you definitely should, because your pictures, I have to add this, sorry to interrupt in between.
Yeah.
I even have to tell our listeners, please go ahead and check out the link of Sai's pictures. The pictures are breathtaking and they are amazing. I even the tiny picture where the lady is just standing and sitting and roasting corn is so freaking beautiful. The amazing pictures.
Yeah, so basically the thing is I have zero experience traveling. I've read stories, seen videos of people going to Ladakh and things like that. So it's just something that was in me. So what happened one fine day, I decided that I'll actually do it. But the plan was that nothing was concrete. So I just thought, let me get a bike first and let me go with the flow.
Uh-huh.
So one fine day I booked my bike, and once I got it, I made a short South Indian trip. And that kind of gave me a confidence. Okay, maybe I should actually do the Ladakh trip. And I had actually planned a trip with my friends, but later he couldn't join me. And so I had to convince myself to go all the way alone.
So please tell our listeners, what do you ride?
Yeah, so I own a Royal Enfield Thunderbird 500cc.
Wow.
So before booking, my Ladakh trip wasn't actually planned. So I just thought, let me buy a 500cc because, one day I'm going to climb all those mountains and I need good pickup. So yeah, I just went for that. And I had this excuse of, I need to make a portfolio so that I have to find a job and things like that. So my parents were like, okay, let him do whatever he wants. He's on a break. He's back in India and stuff like that. So they just left me. But when I actually told them about this, that I'm going to do this, there was silence. There was silence for 2 days. Like nobody was talking, and they were kind of scared because they know that I will actually do it. And when I kind of convinced them, I told them it's going to be okay. I'm going to have a lot of friends with me and it's safe and stuff like that. But as the days neared, I told them that it'll just be me and a couple of friends joining later, which was all lies, by the way. and I don't know what it's like, everything materialized like some sort of it's like something that was meant to happen. Like I'm surprised because my parents are kind of overprotective and things like that. But even I'm surprised how they allowed. So I'm not questioning that part. So it just happened.
So, but did they note at the last moment that you're doing this road trip all by yourself?
Yeah, eventually they found out, and my dad had his blood pressure shot up. But yeah, he was fine. He was fine.
Awesome. So we have. So now now that you have done with the convincing and everything, how did you go about the preparation?
Yeah, the preparation, basically I went through a lot of travel forums on how you have to travel and things like that. So the first thing I did was purchase a saddle bag for my travel. And then I went to a welder and asked him to remove the carrier of the bike and make it extra long so that I can place my tripod, my sleeping bag, tent and all those things. So something for extra carriage. So all that was done, of course, with the help of a friend of mine. And so after this, what I had to do next was purchase a lot of things, like ranging from spares for the bikes, medicines, your accessories, your travel accessories. So Decathlon was like a one-stop shop where you can buy a lot of things.
Yeah.
So my uncle who sponsored my trip, he got me a tent, a sleeping bag, was very generous. So I took him and made him swipe his card. I was like, you're paying for everything.
Yeah, so I was going to
That's
ask
a blessing,
you, how did you fund this road trip and how much did the trip cost you?
When I finished my trip and I calculated the whole amount, it was 1.3 lakhs. So
1.3 lakhs.
Because it would have reduced dramatically if I had chosen a 300, 250, 300, I don't know how much is the cc. Because this is a 500cc bike, 250, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm not a bike person. Though it might look like I went all the way up. I have very bad knowledge about bikes and stuff. The petrol consumption, the fuel consumption is very high on this one.
Right.
And you get a mileage of like 20 kilometers, 22, something like that. That's very bad actually.
Yeah, it's almost like...
But it does the job. Yeah, it does the job. Like it's really powerful and it climbs all mountains without any hassle.
Yeah, I think if you see all the pictures, the roads that you've traveled, especially in the north, you need that bike. Yeah. Just when I see those pictures, I cannot believe that a person could even walk properly on those roads and you've taken your bike across. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Hats off to you.
Yeah, and then 1.3 lakhs does sound like a steal, especially since you're talking about traveling the whole of India from from south to north and back. It does sound like a steal because we're talking about less than $2,000 a day, right?
Yeah, like around 1,000.
Spread over 77 days.
You have to cut down on a lot of things. Basically, there's a fixed expense. Like every day you're going to spend so much for fuel. That's no matter what, that's going to happen. Where you can cut down is on your stay and on food as well. Stop eating in all those posh restaurants and go for local food, in all the local eateries, dabas and all. Yeah. So I have a very sensitive stomach. So what I did was I survived on rotis, chapatis. And mostly all those salads like carrots and things like that. So mostly it would be raw. And then even dal, sometimes I used to be scared because of the oil that they use. That's true. Fortunately, nothing happened.
One question, it's a little off the topic, but okay, how much did you end up losing any weight after the 77th day?
I actually lost a lot of weight because I've hit 30. So when you're 30, you're an uncle, okay? And slowly protruding
don't
and
say
all.
that.
Yeah, okay, Sam is getting a little sad here.
Yeah, you have that belly, and in spite of not drinking beer and all, like I'm a teetotaler. So in spite of that, I have this junk food belly.
I do.
It reduced a little.
Wow. Okay, that's nice.
I think Faisal has one motivation already to make
this trip.
And the other cost-cutting factor is where you stay. If you have couch surfing, you can actually stay at people's house, literally sleep on the couch for free. So you can cut down in that manner as well.
Right.
So as I was saying, 1.3 lakhs does still sound like a steal, considering that you spend this over a period of 77 days and traveling the entire length of the country. How did you go about funding this? Was it all your savings, or how was this?
No, I personally didn't want to touch my savings. So what I did was I kind of crowdfunded, but within my relatives without posting anything online.
Okay.
And we have a huge family. Like my dad has 8 his siblings along with him. So it's just that I knocked on everyone's door and gathered some money from here and there. And some people were generous to make a huge amount as well. They said, let me do the whole trip. Wow. But I said, no, I'll just take a little bit of money from you. You can buy stuff for me. You can top up my mobile. You can spend for my fuel and things like that. So I gathered around 1 lakh and I put it in a separate account. And I just used my debit card to, withdraw money now and then and make transactions.
Awesome. So for once, having a big family has worked out well for you, right? I don't know about you, but...
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, Sai, tell us a little bit more about your backpack, because once you're traveling, once you're traveling for a long time like this, especially since you're on a bike, you're limited by the number of things you can carry. So, what was your backpack like? So
basically, I mounted my tripod, my tent, onto the carrier on the back of my bike, and the rucksack. So the rucksack that I had contained all my clothes, which was basically 2 pair of jeans and 2 t-shirts.
Oh wow! Okay.
Then I had all my essentials. My laptop, my camera, was always in the rucksack because those are very important.
Right.
Travel documents, because the thing is, it's always on my shoulder. So I feel it's safe. Mm-hmm. And then some dry fruits, medicines, most important. And that's it. That goes in the rucksack. And on the saddlebags, which is on both sides of the bike, you have your bike spares, your winter clothes, and some camera accessories, some personal hygiene stuff. That's it.
Okay. Did you carry any spare fuel for emergency?
I forgot to mention that I had a jerry can as well, which was tied to the right near the tire. So if you look at the pictures, you can see where the jerry can is.
Right. Okay. Excellent. So I think I've covered most of the questions I wanted to ask about the preparation. So it's time to get into the thick of things and get into the meat of the story, really. So let's start with this. What time of the year did you choose to do this whole trip, Sai?
Yeah, basically the snow starts melting in the month of May. I think the end of May or something. And the roads open. They open from May, I believe.
Correct.
So I planned this trip at a very wrong time, July.
Okay.
And it was actually monsoon in the west coast. I was aware of that, but I didn't know that it would be really bad because right from Coimbatore when I started until I reached Rajasthan, it rained non-stop.
Oh my God.
But it was okay. And when you have wet feet, it's really annoying. And as stupid as I am, after reaching Punjab, when the rain stopped, I got those boots. Which I should have done earlier.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So in short, please tell our listeners how where did you start off from and which all points, or I love the way that you put A, B, C, D across on the map on the picture you shared. But could you just tell that to our
give us a
listeners?
summary of point, say A through the tip of North India, and then back, and then we can get into the details.
Okay. So basically, there was this thing. You've heard of Adi Shankaracharya? Maybe he was a saint who lived and helped spread Hinduism when Buddhism was taking over India.
Okay.
So what he did was he established 4 Vedic centers across India. One in South India, which is in Karnataka. Then in Gujarat, one near Puri, and the other one I forgot. So it was basically the 4 corners.
Okay.
And I wanted to do something similar. So basically, I wanted to touch all the 4 corners of India.
Okay.
So that's how I started out, and eventually ended up doing only half of India because there were floods in East India, and Varanasi was underwater, like half of it. So I had to change plans and come all the way down.
Okay, so let's get started. So point A of your journey, the starting point of your journey was Coimbatore, right? And as you said, it was probably solely because you are from there, right?
Yeah, I'm from Coimbatore. So basically I live there. I studied in Coimbatore as well. It's a very beautiful place, by the way. You guys should visit when you can.
Yeah. Someday definitely.
Yeah.
So take us on your bike, take us as your pillion riders, and relive that experience that you did on your trip, Sai.
Okay, so basically I started around 6 o'clock from Coimbatore, and I made my way towards Kerala. Coimbatore lies very close to Kerala's border. So the first day I went to the coast, which is the other end of Kerala, where I stopped in Kannur.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a very nice day because it was raining, but I didn't think it would rain for the next couple of weeks. The first day was just full riding. There was nothing. And I rarely stopped because I would stop only for food. The thing is, when you're riding, because the bike gets heated, you have to stop every 200 kilometers, take a break. And also your rear pains very badly because you're sitting for too long. It really hurts. The thing is, when you stand up and when you sit again, it pains even more.
That's a genuine concern.
Yeah. Luckily, the seat for the 500cc Thunderbird is quite broad, so that was another reason why I chose. And also, before choosing a bike, you need to sit and see how your shoulder length is towards the handlebar. So you need to do a test ride before you actually buy your bike. Otherwise, a back pain can cause a lot of problems.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so first day I made, the plan was to actually travel via West Coast all the way towards Mumbai because I have some friends in Mumbai and wanted to stop there for a week or something.
Okay. Normally when we start off a journey, I put a destination on my phone and I follow the map. How did you go about it?
Basically, my idea was to ride till 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Until sunset. And after sunset, no riding because it's very dangerous.
That's true.
Firstly, accidents are high and you get tired. At night, visibility is also low. And also safety reasons like crime and things like that.
That's true.
So it's scary to ride the highway at night also. Though I love riding, it was decided that I will stop at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a wise decision.
Yeah, so when it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I take my mobile and see what's the next closest city.
Okay.
Maps.me is a very good travel app, which you can use offline. You just have to download the map in advance and you can use it offline.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. It's called Maps.me?
Yeah, Maps.me. So you can mark your places as well. So I would just see what's the closest city and immediately search for room rates as well.
Okay.
On Airbnb and other apps. So whatever is good, whatever sounds good, I just stop this. So Kannur is actually a good sightseeing place as well. You've got good beaches over there.
Sure.
Where you can actually drive into the beach. The sand doesn't stick to your tires.
Oh, wow.
And you have the Theyyam festival, which is all those costumes like Kathakali and, those dances, those traditional Kerala dances. So the first day I was very tired. I had planned to actually go see these places, but I did nothing. I crashed on the bed and slept well because I had a cold as well. Because initially the dust allergy gets to you until you get used to it.
That's true.
And how was the feeling the first
the first day?
The first day and getting to bed after that long day and looking ahead for, literally the whole journey.
Imagine you've been in prison for 10 years and then you're let off. Okay, like you come out of the door and you take a deep breath and okay, I'm free now. I can do whatever I want. That's the feeling you have because there's no one to ask you. No one is going to question you, and pretty much you can do whatever you want.
And must be a goosebumpy feeling, right? You're by yourself and you're heading out on this whole trip. You'll face a lot of different things, but still you're so excited to be a part of the whole.
True.
Awesome. So Faiza wanted to ask you about the food also. How did you take care of that? Because it's an important part of traveling, and especially when it's not your typical travel and it's a little unconventional like this. It's all the more important that you be in your good, in the best of health. So, how did you go about food?
Yeah, the thing is with food, a lot of friends told me when you visit a particular state, try that particular state's food. Like if you go to Gujarat, have Gujarati thali. If you go to Rajasthan, have Rajasthani thali. And I did just the opposite. Like if I go to Gujarat and if I see a Domino's, I'll stop in Domino's and have a pizza. And I'll actually skip the whole thali part. But it's just because you don't know what you'll find next. Like whether when you're riding, you don't know what hotel will come next. So whatever you find, you just stop and you eat.
True.
Unless you are actually vacationing and you have 2-3 days in that place, then you can try out different dishes in restaurants. Food was supposed to be an integral part of my trip because I wanted to take a lot of photos. But during travel, it just so happened that sometimes you're tired, sometimes you are hungry and you need to eat something or the other. So basically, South India, I was lucky because you have dosa, idli, and all those things. So which is basically homemade like. So I survived on those. Once I crossed into North India, it was all roti, chapati, bread, toast, noodles, Maggie. Maggie is a lifesaver, by the way. So this is all I survived on. This is literally what I survived on, and then fruits. Until I touched Nizamabad on the way back, the first thing I did was order a nice big masala dosa and eat it all by myself.
Okay, I'm hungry now.
So, day one was spent in Kannur, you said, right?
Yeah, day one was in Kannur, and I remember there was a small hut which offered, we say parota in Malayalam. Yes. You guys say paratha in North India? So the Malabar parota. So that's what I had, and I went back to sleep.
Nice. And then on an average, how much did you ride each day, Sai?
That would actually depend. Would go around 200 kilometers.
Okay.
A day, because that's the maximum you can push, because after that you can't. You're literally tired and it's not safe to ride when you're drowsy as well.
Yeah. So how's the pattern? Would you start like early in the day and start sometime afternoon, or how's this?
Early in the day, because the preparation for starting, it takes a lot of time because you have your hand sleeves, you have your gloves, you have your raincoat, you have your rain pants. So you have to wear all of this, and you have to put a protective bag for your rucksack, for your saddlebags. So it takes a lot of time just to prepare. Yeah. Each day you have to allot at least 45 minutes. And the thing is, after each ride, you have to remove all the ropes, you have to take your luggage in. And when you start early in the morning, you have to pack all those things. You have to tighten the ropes and secure all your bags. So I would usually start at 6 o'clock or something, because it's always nice when the sun rises and you're on the highway.
True.
So for just to get that feeling, you have to start early.
Yeah, excellent. So take us from Kannur. Where did you head off to from Kannur?
From Kannur, I moved north towards Mangalore, Udupi, but I didn't stop in these places. I stopped in Mangalore for lunch and then went straight to Murudeshwar. The Konkan coast is very beautiful. That's something you have to see for yourself. And I hear the food is also delicious. Yeah. When I reached Murudeshwar, it was almost 6 o'clock in the evening. And you have that big Shiva statue and that beach over there. Yeah, exactly. I've been there before. So I stopped for the night. And got cheated by. As soon as you go to Murdeshwar and as soon as the people see you with all these bags and they know you're traveling, so there are these guys roaming on motorbikes who said, "Do you want room? Do you want room?" And said, "Yeah, okay." So they'll take you to some place and they get commission or whatever. So unfortunately, this guy took me to a very bad room. There's so many cockroaches there, but what to do? You paid the money. You had to spend the night there.
Oh.
It was quite far from the temple as well, so it's okay. You've got to experience all these things.
That's true.
Exactly. And I
200 rupees for the night was actually cheap.
But I guess this is where I think technology as well comes in and plays a part, right? Things have become so much easier these days with things like Airbnb and make much of all of that to book hotels and rooms at pretty affordable rates, right? So
yes.
And how was your? Did you spend some time at Murdeshwar, or was it just
no? The very next morning I left. I took some pictures. I got what I needed. So if I think that I've got something, I would just immediately pack up and leave.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, it's a beautiful sight. Looking at the huge
Shiva statue.
I think it's one of the biggest. Right?
Yeah,
it's the second biggest. I forget.
Yeah. I think it's the second biggest. The thing is, when I went to Murdeshwar, I had ordered a plate of idli and I was eating near the. It's right on the top, okay? Right next to the statue, there's a restaurant which overlooks the beach.
Nice.
And on the other side, Shiva statue, and it started raining. It started raining with a lot of wind.
Wow.
Like everybody on the beach, they were screaming. And initially, I thought something had happened. But they were just screaming out of joy and okay. Yeah. And everything, like no visibility, nothing. It's just brilliant rain over there. So after I got wet, I climbed the tower. I didn't know that you could actually climb the tower. There's a lift that takes you up there.
Okay, so this tower overlooks the Shiva statue and the beach?
Yeah, the temple tower.
Oh, okay.
So you can actually climb all the way up and you get a beautiful view of the whole beach and of the statue and things like that. So yeah, and I believe you can do scuba diving as well.
Oh, wow.
It looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Looking at the pictures, the view of the sea as well as the great statue.
Yeah,
Shiva statue. So you started off from there the next morning?
Yeah, I left in the morning and made my way towards Goa. So I wanted to stop in Goa for the day. And Goa was off season because of the heavy rains.
Yeah.
So I had a family friend there, and if you have family, friends and relatives across India, the best thing is you have to visit them because you can stay there for free and you get homemade food and a lot of love and affection.
Yeah.
So I made sure that if I know someone in some place, I would head towards their direction. So the route just takes you there.
Yeah, that's a travel hack. Nice travel hack right there.
Yeah. So I stayed in a friend's place in Mapusa. That was the name.
Okay.
It's very near to Anjuna Beach, somewhere there. So they had forced me to stay for a couple more days, but I said no, I have to make my way.
Right.
And in Anjuna, from there I'd moved to the beach side where I stayed in a hostel. It was a Portuguese hostel, which was actually very beautiful, and nobody was there. It was just me.
Oh.
In an 8-bed dormitory. So I had the whole dormitory to myself.
Wow.
And it was raining and it was very nice. And there were two foreigners, a couple on the other side. And they were just playing the guitar and I was like, okay, this is beautiful. So that's when the whole travel thing, started to absorb. This is going to be good.
Right.
So you have a good vibe to it.
That's
awesome.
great.
And I think it was a blessing in disguise that you did it in off season. That way, it wasn't too crowded. Some of the experiences you did experience, you probably might have missed out on those.
Yeah. Thing is, if you have a travel partner who shares the same wavelength as you, the trip is going to be beautiful. Like you have someone to share and crack jokes with, talk, discuss deep philosophies and things like that. But if you're a loner and if you are okay with being by yourself, that is also good in a way because there's so many. You can read books, you can listen to music, you can write, it's nice. So the only hard thing which I found was going out to eat, because I have this problem when I go to a public place to eat. When I sit on the table by myself, I feel a little weird.
So how long did you spend in Goa?
Again, just one day with my friend, and the other day was in the hostel, and then the next morning, early morning, I left by around 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And I was heading towards. The plan was to. I was confused because I wanted to reach Mumbai, but Mumbai is really really far, and it's not possible. It is possible in one day, but it would be a very long ride considering that I have to stop at 6.
Okay.
So the plan was to go to Lonavala. Or there was some other place which I forgot. So mid space between Mumbai and Goa.
Yeah.
And when I was riding, I decided it's going to be a little difficult for me if I stop riding. And all the places was just highway.
Yeah.
There are two roads. One which takes the coastal road, and the other one is the Pune highway towards Bombay. So I chose the coastal road.
Okay.
And there are a lot of twists and turns, and it goes near some naval base. It was, even though it was very scenic, it was a little tiring.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, I decided, okay, even if it's late night, let me just reach Mumbai. And the thing is, my parents, they would call me at 6 o'clock to check whether I've stopped. So that was on the back of my head that I have to stop and tell them that I've already booked a room and I'm staying somewhere now. So I thought I'll just not listen to them for once, and I'll just go all the way to Mumbai. And in between, I got calls, and I was not able to pick up because of the rain, and they started freaking out.
I know. Okay.
So I had to stop and some petrol. I meant that I'm planning to go to Mumbai. It's almost close. I will reach and give you a call.
Okay.
So they said, okay, fine. What to do with this guy now? He's gone. But it was an achievement that I had almost traveled 600 kilometers.
I know, because you said you started by 6 and you've
started from Goa, right? All the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a good thing. I think if I had to say what was the most difficult route, it would be this one.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, you have to test yourself. Like, are you happy? Are you sad? Are you stressed? Are you frustrated? And when it's stressed and frustrated, that means it was a bad day.
So
late night.
Okay.
Yeah, I just crashed over there. And the next couple of days was all personal stuff, like hanging out with friends and not really visiting any place in Mumbai.
Okay.
It was just like, I need a break. Like, I've just done 3 days of traveling and I need a break. I need a break from a break. Yeah.
That's well put.
Awesome. So it was just chilling out in Mumbai. No, not the actual Mumbai stuff, right? Going, seeing
stuff,
places and late nights and all that.
Nothing. just hanging out, eating good food, going to an Italian restaurant and asking for ketchup, stuff like that.
Awesome. So you spent what, 2-3 days here?
Yeah, I almost spent a week actually.
Oh, okay.
And then one fine day I decided I'll make a move and I headed towards Gujarat.
Okay.
So Gujarat is apparently very close to Maharashtra. And all these things I'm learning when I'm traveling, because I know the geography, basic geography, but still, as you're making your way, it just goes. I reached Gujarat, I reached this place called Baroda, and I decide to stop there. And then I'm thinking, why should I stop here? Let me go to Bhuj. Because the plan was to go to Rann of Kutch.
Right.
So I go to Bhuj, I stay in this hotel, nice accommodation. And I park my bike in the entrance, and this guy says, put it on the right side. So I tell him, no. I want to put it on the left side because the CCTV camera is facing the bike.
Sure.
He said, okay, fine. And then I go sleep up, and I think I'm watching some movie on my laptop in the room, and I hear a loud crash.
Oh.
I'm like, okay, something happened. And then I'm still watching a movie, and then there's this guy who comes and knocks my door, and he'll come down quickly.
Oh Lord,
and
what happened?
So I go down and see my bike is like on the road, and there's a huge crowd, and there's an auto rickshaw, and there's a kid inside the auto rickshaw who's driving, and people are shouting at him. I look at my bike. It's like the silencer is broken, the handlebar is twisted, opposite side.
Oh God.
It's basically damaged, and I'm like, I'm really, really sad.
Oh
I'm
my God.
really sad.
I know.
Yeah. And I'm asking what happened. Apparently, this 15-year-old kid took his dad's auto rickshaw, and tuk-tuk as they call it. And he was overspeeding, lost control, and crashed into my bike.
Oh my God.
And all of this is recorded on the CCTV because I parked the bike right next to the camera.
Thank God.
I should have put it on the other side, actually. It wouldn't have happened. But then I got this amazing footage. So this happened and I was really upset. And then the hotel owner, who's a really, really nice guy, who helped me a lot. Like because of this accident, I had to stay for 2 more days in Bhuj. So he helped me. He told me that don't worry, I'll take you to the garage and I will help you fix it. And I had to hide all this from my parents as well.
Oh, I know.
Like I bet even if you say like you got or a bike got the tiny scratch, your parents would just come running. What happened?
Yeah, and he was telling me like, look, something was supposed to happen to you, but look, you got saved, and the bike took the impact for you, So all those things, he helped me. He took me to the garage. He, they welded all the silencer. They changed the handlebar. It was under insurance. So all that was done and ready to go after 2 days. So from there, I moved towards Rann of Kutch.
Yeah.
Rann of Kutch is a very beautiful place because, it's very close to Pakistan. Sure. And something about touching the border and all is very nice. So there's this place when you go to Rann of Kutch, this BSF post is there which stops you.
Okay.
And they take your ID card, they make note of who's going in and stuff like that. So it's deserted. It's literally deserted. Nobody is there. No. So I had a very good chat with this BSF soldier. He's from Uttar Pradesh. And he was telling me stories of what goes on, how it is, how life is. And they were apparently the third gate or something. So there's a first patrol, which is guarding the border near the fence.
Okay.
And then there's a second post, and then there's a third post. So these guys on the third, which is a little relaxed.
Okay. Thank God.
So I was just sitting with him and I was just talking to him. Then they're one of the most nicest people.
Oh, that's nice.
They invite you, they ask you to have food, they force you to eat food. Because these people are so happy to see travelers and they want to know your story, and it's very nice. So I finished talking to him. I go. I take photos in Rann of Kutch, I come back, and I'm on the highway filming myself, okay? Like I'm putting the camera on the road and taking different angle shots. Like I place it at one place and I go far and then I come back and things like that. So I travel some 10-15 kilometers. I'm doing all this. I suddenly remember I forgot my camera in the actual, what do you call it? There's a post where there's a view post.
Okay.
So I kept it on the post and nobody is there because it's off season again. Rann of Kutch is literally flooded. You can't see the white salt bed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually water.
Water, yeah. We saw that picture of yours where your legs are there and there's just water.
I was like, okay, fine. So that's the reason no one is there. And I actually raised at around 150. I almost touched 140, 150 on my motorcycle and it's vibrating. Because I'm really scared that I might lose my camera.
I know. Shit. Okay, then did you get it?
And again, the BSF guy's like, what happened? You just left. And he said, no, I forgot my camera. Then I go in. It's still there on the same place. Not a single visitor has come up to that.
Thank God.
And Rann of Kutch is a very crowded place in season. They fly kites and things like that. So it was nice to be there when no one was there.
And your camera was safe,
Yeah, that was safe as well.
Awesome.
And there was also a place called Kala Dungar, which is actually near Rann of Kutch, where I stayed in a temple.
Okay.
It's an old Dattatreya temple. And the legend is that once when Dattatreya, it's a legend basically. So jackals were hungry and they were asking for food and there was nothing to offer. So the Lord offered himself, his own flesh. Oh, wow. And because he's God, he regenerates, right? So that's the story, and it's a very, very old temple. It's also a BSF post over there.
Okay.
It's called Kala Dangar. So after puja, after arati, they take this food, this prasad, and go to one place and they ring the bell. Even today, the jackals come and eat.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah. So I saw this from a distance because they asked me not to go near.
Yeah, because they might be wild, right?
Yeah, but apparently they're not. You ring the bell, they automatically come and they eat and they run away.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So from there, I moved towards Jaisalmer. I had a stop in some place called Ganganagar, it's still raining, by the way.
Oh.
It's still raining. And Ganganagar, this place is like flooded and non-stop rain, and there's water up to my knee level.
Oh my God.
All the ditches are flooded. and it was total mess. But then, yeah, I just had to stop there for the night and then made my way ahead towards Jaisalmer. It's a very nice place. It's like the Golden City or something, and it's hot. And for once, the rain has stopped.
Finally.
So that was the best bit. So after that, once I reached Rajasthan, I had booked this trip to the desert where I spent a night in Thar Desert.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
So it was a camel ride, and you have two people with you. The camels were called Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan.
Nice.
And we made chapati and some dal, some chai with a lot of desert grains in it. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And it probably was from the beginning of the journey to even up to the point where you reached Rajasthan, it probably was a variety of terrain that you passed through, right? Right from the Western Ghats to passing through the run of Kutch and then to the deserts of Rajasthan. You've already seen like variety of colors and right over the 2 weeks or so that you mentioned.
True. Yeah, that was nice, and I was like dying to see snow because snow is everybody's favorite.
Exactly.
Mine too. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to actually get out quickly because I was delaying, and money is also a concern. You're not supposed to finish it before the whole trip, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, when I was doing this, I was not aware of what route I'm taking and where I'm going to finish.
Oh.
So my initial plan was to go towards Assam and all those things. But yeah.
So where from Jaisalmer did you head off to?
So from Jaisalmer, I finally made my way to a place where I enjoyed the most on this whole trip.
Okay.
I would have to say it was Amritsar.
Okay.
And I cannot see it, but still I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, I know.
If you basically Google, the hostel's name is called Jugaad.
Okay, Jugaad.
And it's the only hostel in Amritsar, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And it's got a very weird name. Like when I went there was a guy who asked me, what kind of a name is Jugaad? Like who would name a hostel Jugaad? And I have to tell you about this hostel. It is literally the best hostel in the whole wide world.
Oh, wow. Okay. And why do you say that?
I pretty much stayed in a lot of hostels, even in UK and stuff like that. But this place, like the moment you enter, there are a bunch of people sitting, and they're like, "Hey, welcome. What are you up to? Have some tea." Like the first thing when you enter a hostel is like you go to the reception and say, "Okay, I need a room.
Yeah.
Where can I pay?" So that's exactly what I did. Like I went to the guy, I took out my wallet, and I'm like, "I need a room." So the guy's like, calm down. Just sit. Like, just sit there. Have some lemon juice. Have some tea.
That's
where
nice
you from?
Welcome.
Yeah, where you from? Where you coming from? And you start talking, and he makes you forget about the whole
I want the room.
money. Yeah, the room and stuff. And then everybody is like making conversation. Like they're offering you food and stuff. It's literally the most amazing place. So my plan was to stop there for the night and head immediately towards Ladakh.
Okay.
But I stayed in Amritsar for like 4-5 days just because I loved the place so much.
Oh, wow.
And I think that there were no Indians when I was staying. It was all foreigners, a lot of Israelis and Brits, and like literally from all across the world.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very small place. And yeah, so what happened is the hostel guys, they organized trips. And the thing is, I've been moving like very fast. Like I used to stay in one place for a day and move, right? So I wasn't actually seeing or doing anything.
Exactly.
And my folks back home were also telling, you keep moving. What are you doing? You're not actually sightseeing, or you're just riding. Like it doesn't seem nice. So I decided I'll take a few days off. I'll do all the trips and whatever they have to offer. Let me just try. So there were food trips. There was a Wagah border trip. There was a village trip, and I signed up for everything. I was like, I'm going to do all of this.
Nice.
So one morning they took me to the village where we milked cows. We took a bullock cart ride. We went to the farm. We did some farming.
Oh my God.
And that was really beautiful. Okay. And we actually got to experience the village side of Punjab. And one day it was a food walk where we had to, like, we were separated into two groups, and we walked together, and like which group would eat more food. And I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah,
and
I was thinking that I can win it. Yeah,
After two dishes, I was like, I'm full. After one lacha paratha and jalebi, like I'm dying. And that was very nice. Like they take you to all these famous restaurants around the Gurudwara, and around the Gurudwara, it's all vegetarian hotels. So all amazing. Like they're all featured on National Geographic and stuff like that. So yeah, that's a must-have experience.
Okay.
And then one night we spent at the Golden Temple, where we, you can do service there. You can basically help out, be at the langars and all those things. Yeah. So that was nice. I went at night and it was really beautiful. And the other day was a Wagah border trip, which was literally amazing.
Okay.
So that was when I got really very close to Pakistan, and I took a picture and like, hey Pakistan, how are you? And the parade was also very nice.
Oh. And how much did these trips cost, Sai?
They're very cheap. They're like 100 rupees,
oh my
150 rupees. Yeah. So because you stay in the hostel, they take you. Yeah.
Oh wow.
And you know why a lot of hippies come, right, to India? Like the minute they step down in India, they want to go to Manali and get high and stuff like that.
That's
So Amritsar is there's an airport and a lot of people land in Amritsar.
Okay.
So immediately they're asking, so where can you get this? So where can you get that? And I'm like, okay, I'm not telling you on this show. Yeah. So from Amritsar, after all these 3 days, I was actually planning to go to Kashmir.
Okay.
Because Pathankot, and then from Pathankot to Kashmir. But unfortunately, 2016, you're aware of the stone pelting, and there were riots going down there. And there was this American kid who got this Hero Honda bike from some guy on OLX, and he's come all the way from Kashmir. Okay. So the people traveling from south up, and the people who already finished their journey and coming down to Amritsar.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we get to hear stories of what's going on. So this guy with his GoPro was in Kashmir, and because he's fully covered, these people started throwing stones at him.
Oh my god!
And they smashed his GoPro, and they removed his helmet, and they're going to hit him with this on. He's a foreigner, and I was like, okay, fine. Go. And he told me, don't go to Kashmir. It's very dangerous. I lost my memory card. It's gone now. All those things. So I decided, okay, fine. And I very badly wanted to go to Kashmir because I've heard so much about that place, Dal Lake and that serenity and all those things.
Yeah.
And now I had to change my plans.
Oh my god. Okay.
Phew, that was a close call, isn't it? To find out about Sai Kumar's Plan B, listen to Part 2 of the Independence Day special, The Great Indian Road Trip, next Thursday. Until then, have a great Independence Day weekend. Jai Hind. That was yet another great episode of the Musafir Stories. If you guys like the show, please subscribe to us on iTunes, Audioboom, Stitcher, Pocket Radio, or any other podcasting app that's available on iOS or Android. You could also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We go by the handle The Musafir Stories. Or if it suits you, you could email us at themusafirstories@gmail.com and visit our website www.themusafirstories.com for more information. All of these links will be made available in the show notes section of the podcast. So here's to more traveling, sharing, and inspiring. Stay tuned for our next episode. Until then, happy travels and goodbye.